someone very close to Coach Belichick. And it says that Coach Belichick relayed to him that he came within a whisker of naming Tom Brady to start in 2001, but he just couldn't pull the trigger. And he said that was probably one of the regrets that he went, when he did it, ultimately make that decision. That's why he never went back to Drew Bledsoe. Fast forward 20 plus years later, Skip, he gets an opportunity to, again, Tom wasn't a rookie, obviously, at this point. He was in his second year, to make a decision. Coach Belichick says, I'm not going to miss on this one. I'm a little surprised because I didn't. The kid played well. Mac Jones played unbelievable, Skipper. Remember, I said this before. I believe he was the most ready to play. Take him out the box, given what he was at Alabama. Coach Belichick knows Nick Saban. They're basically one and the same. One just coaches college, the other coaches the pros, but they're one and the same. And I believe Coach Saban said, Bill, you can't go wrong with this guy. This guy's tough, this guy's smart, this guy's team first. And remember, Skip, we talked about this, Skip. If it's close, one guy vaccinated, the other guy isn't. Brian Flores says what? Team first.
Yep.
All these coaches, all these ownerships is looking at a guy, okay, you can blow our whole thing up by not being vaccinated. We can miss games.
I do believe that was a factor.
I'm gonna take it out of your hands. I'm gonna get the vaccine. He chose not to. Hey, it's his choice.
Yep.
Now he can do whatever he wants to do. We'll see what happens. He only had $3.5 million guaranteed. Could he land somewhere else? We're gonna talk about that a little later, Skip. But I'm a little surprised that this is the way it would go. But like you said this, Skip, he either has to start or you have to release him because there is no in-between. That's Cam Newton.
It's Cam Newton. He was not born to be a backup quarterback. No. He has no backup in his makeup.
Right.
It's not who he is or will be. And I wouldn't want him hanging over the shoulder pads of my kid because I think that's hard. So to me, I'll go, I'm surprised but not shocked because I've been telling you from the start, I'm just watching this kid play and he's better than I thought.
Yes.
And I thought Cam played very well in his preseason stint.
I did too.
The kid played a little better. You couldn't ask the kid to do more than he kept doing.
Right.
And then he got his one moment in the sun against the Giants on a Wednesday joint practice scrimmage.
Right.
And according to all, I didn't get to watch it, but according to all reports, they kept score. He was 35 of 40.
Right.
He lit it up and lit up the Giants so badly, they actually game planned for the Thursday so they could put him back in his place, right?
Yep.
Because they were so embarrassed by what he did to them.
Correct.
And it got to the point where at the end of the practice, with the New England media looking on, Belichick walked down the sideline to where the kid was kneeling because he was worn out because it was hot and humid up in the Northeast. And he reached down and kind of high-fived and low-fived him. Right. And you brought the point. You think he ever did that to Tom Brady? And I'm a big no on that. That was almost like a blessing from above. Right. He blessed this kid. And this kid is everything Belichick loves. He's obviously a hard worker, doesn't say a lot, shows up. He was even game planning himself against the New England defense by watching tape of its defense for practices. So it's what's not to like. And he's more of Belichick's cup of Gatorade because he's right out of the Brady mold. He is definitely Brady-esque. There's going to be a little dinking and dunking going on. But after the first stint, the first night I watched him, it looked like he was Dak throwing with a pull muscle, you know, softball throwing. And then all of a sudden, second game, third game, I started to see a little bit of juice on the throws to the point where I said, you know what, that'll work. And Cam will not work as your backup. And I've told you this several times. I have too much respect for him. It's not what he was meant to be at age 32 is to stand there. And I think Belichick is saying, gee, ultimately Cam just can't help it. He's going to make some waves on social media about how he should be playing. And remember that cryptic post to his loyalty, comma, I deserve it. He later said, this is about my kids. It was a personal thing that I posted. You said you bought it. Fine. It very well could have been. But it's one thing you don't do within the Patriot way. You don't even appear to be taking a shot at the head coach because the head coach could interpret that as you're saying, I owe you this.
And Skip, what I didn't understand about Cam, you missed time last year because of COVID. You leave.
It's just
reason
inconceivable to me.
right?
Yeah.
That you wouldn't get the vaccine, knowing Coach Belichick availability is an ability also.
Yep.
He's like, you missed time last year. You go away, you have to be gone for 5 days, and you still haven't got the vaccine. What happens? We're in the middle of the season, Skip, and you're gone for 14 days if you get COVID. Can I trust you? Can I count on you?
No.
You make it very easy. Skip, remember I said, Skip, if it's close, one guy's vaccinated and the other guy isn't. Guess which one I'm choosing?
Okay. So to back up just how good this kid has been, I'm going to repeat these stats from Pro Football Focus, your favorite website. His overall grade, Mac Jones, in 3 preseason games, was the best that they have ever scored for a rookie quarterback in a preseason, better than Patrick Mahomes in 2017, and the best that they've scored since they started in 2013. Okay. I'll buy that.
Right.
I'll take that to my bank. And he also led all quarterbacks of any year this preseason in passing grade on 10-plus yard throws.
Right.
His downfield throws, they were on the mark, on the money. And his turnover-worthy rate led all of football in the preseason because it was 0%.
Right.
He threw not one ball that they graded as turnover-worthy, whether it was picked or not. And he had no picks, obviously. Okay, those are all bankable by Bill Belichick. Good, great.
Right.
And in the end, I kept telling you, my eye test tells me this kid is just playing at a little higher level. And then we had the great Rodney Harrison, as we talked about earlier in the show, guy you know very well.
I do.
Guy I respect highly. And his line on Cam Newton was, he's older, he's stuck in his ways, and his best days are gone. And he characterized last year from Cam as super inconsistent.
It was.
Okay?
He didn't lie.
Belichick said, I know it's scary because Cam might be a little more trustable in those first 2 or 3 games.
Correct.
But you're saying the future is standing right in front of you. So back to your Brady story, your anecdote, it's standing there hitting you right between the eyes, and you just say, okay, I got to close my eyes and plunge.
Right.
And hope that he can weather a few early storms and get ready for the game of games, which is going to be week 4 on Sunday night versus Tom Brady.
Well, we think they're going to run the football heavily.
Heavily.